lot of people who wanted to come and who couldn't make it. We're just happy to have all of you come and share this time with us. So thank you, everybody. My daughter Blair is going to read the Kinder Morning Song, and we're going to go from there.
Always before the spring returned, the bright world in its cycle spun. In the air and flowers, grass and fern, assured and cradled by the sun. Always before you could explain the turning darkness of the earth, and how the dark embraced the rain and gave the ferns and flowers birth. Already I forget these things, and how a vein of gold survives the binding of 1,000 springs, the seasons of 1,000 lives. Now winter is my memory, now autumn, now summer light. So every spring from now will be another season into night. Thanks.
Okay. Marie Dorothy Catherine was born in Wyoming, Ontario on Friday, March 1st, 1935. She died on Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023, quickly and somewhat unexpectedly in her sleep. She was 88, just a few years shy of the 100 years she wanted to live. As a toddler, she was taken from her birth family and adopted and raised by Elfie and Chrissy Clark in Sarnia, Ontario. She grew up having Edna as a friend, as their moms were. That continued through until her death, some 80 plus years of friendship. She lived in Edmonton, Alberta, and also in Brights Grove, St. Thomas, Byron, Marksay, Tobermory, Exeter, and finally Mitchell in Ontario. She was left-handed in a right-handed world, and like the rest of us, had her struggles. But she went beyond that to overcome and remind us that even though we are born like a caterpillar, we can spread our wings in this beautiful life as a butterfly. She had survived a list of health issues, a tornado, and a dog attack. She'd also been struck by lightning, which we could all just simply say, "Mom, you are undoubtedly electrifying." It was because of this survival ability she was able to touch so many people's lives. She was always trying to learn. I think she got that desire from her days at Alma College. She took lessons in art, music, secretarial skills, and whatever she could manage. She attended Lambton College as a mature student and attended an interpersonal communication class with me, along with a few American Sign Language classes too. She improved her reading skills so she could help the family and discovered reading for enjoyment. In her own words, she would tell you that she had a varied working career, and she'd tell you that she was just an ordinary person. She cleaned homes, offices, chemical plants, a laundromat, college, apartments, and appliances for resale. She was a short order cook, waitress, and cashier. She sold Avon, Tupperware, Watkins, vacuums, Fifth Avenue jewelry. She was going to make and sell dolls, but lost the instructions in a move. She made and tried to sell a dipstick wiper too. She was a receptionist, clerk, shipper receiver, shift manager, bookkeeper, route planner, and taxi dispatcher. She ordered, filed, billed, banked, and kept daily ledgers accurate. At 5'2", she drove trucks, moved furniture, pumped gas, repaired tires, and greased vehicles. She worked in departments as a customer service representative in produce, jewelry, china, silver, notions, and deli. She was a telephone surveyor, as well as being a local, long-distance, and ship-to-shore telephone operator. She designed floors and tiles, dressed windows, and set up stores. She was security as a floor walker and walked runways as a model for local fall and spring shows. She created mail routes and delivered newspaper bundles for the carriers. She even ran an arcade. She was a member of the Eastern Star for over 60 years and belonged to the Colfax Rebecca Lodge too. She was a charter member of the Sarnia Parents Without Partners, where she was a treasurer, ethics and grievances advisor, and the newsletter editor. She was also a chaperone and advisor for the Teen Youth Group. She was on committees for Friends of the Environment and also the Sarnia Accessibility Advisory Committee. You often saw her in the kitchen during special events through church or other organizations, washing dishes or serving meals. If she had your address, birth date, and anniversary, you'd have received a card from her. She continued to be a friend, mentor, and correspondent for family, friends, and people with special needs until dementia took over. She had dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters, gerbils, fish, Speedy the turtle, and Millie the mallard duck. She shared her space and food with wild birds, skunks, raccoons, and a few possums too. She also fostered 15 kids and babysat over 100 more. She was everyone's Nana or aunt. I'm luckiest because she was my mom. During her spare time, she enjoyed needlecrafts and was often found knitting. She enjoyed writing. We self-published one of her stories. Fabric painting, singing in the choir, crossword puzzles, horticulture, painting, coloring, and wood carving, and many other crafts. She took photos of everything and even enjoyed using digital cameras for a while. As if this wasn't enough, she'd knit hats, mittens, and scarves for children, abused women, and newborn infants, which she donated by the hundreds. She volunteered on committees for the environment, arts, and accessibility. She included one of her grandsons in an art installation she was a part of. She taught her family to appreciate beauty and respect all life, long before it was the socially acceptable thing to do. Before these were known titles, she was a wildlife rehabber, a recycler, an advocate, and a naturalist. As a child, she brought me along almost every weekend to watch new homes being built from the ground up, to see the entire process so we could imagine the outcome. She was in her 40s before she began to find her biological family. By chance, she found a brother, who then added 5 more brothers and mother to the mix. 2 more brothers and a sister were found a dozen years later. She was so happy to have a sister. She happily agreed to DNA testing in more recent years and learned about her father, his family, and the discovery of even more siblings, including quite a few more sisters. She will be missed by Maggie, Dave, Sandy, Johanna, Ralph, their spouses, and many nieces and nephews. Predeceased by Wes, Georgette, Alex, John, Richard, Archie, and many she did not get to meet in life, like Charlie, Isabella, Jack, and more. While the final tally isn't completely known, she was happy to find out she had some 18 or more siblings. Family was very important to her, and she'd been adopted and raised as an only child. She always bragged about her children, especially me, her grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. But she also took in her stepchildren and accepted them as if she'd given birth to them herself. Her children, their children were her grandchildren too. She will be especially missed by Vicky, Al, Brian, Brandon, Christina, Nate, Alexis, and Joy Lee. She'd always wanted to fly, and thanks to Summer Papel, her dream came true in 2017. Other special moments included going to Ottawa with her friends Corinne and Doug in 1998, seeing the Parliament buildings, Rideau Canal, Champlain Monument, the Mint, and seeing the Ottawa Art Museum with the artwork of Picasso, Renoir, W. Blair Bruce, Horatio Walker, and sculptures and carvings of wood, marble, plaster, iron, and stone. She went to the Highland Games, Sunfest, Seaway Days, Canada Day events, parades, strawberry socials, and helped with the Sarnia Senior Cruise Day when she enjoyed a cruise at the end of the day. Her only regret was not winning $1 million or more in the lottery. She wanted a beautiful home and to help so many others. While dementia stole her from us in these last years, she lived a full life. She always looked for the beauty in the world, even in the ugliest of places. She'd been laughing and smiling only a few hours before she died. We couldn't have wanted any more for her. You were never an ordinary person. You were extraordinary and touched so many people just by being yourself. You were a wonderful role model for me to follow. When dementia began to scare her, I promised that she'd be okay. because we would do the remembering for her. And if anyone would like to tell us a memory, you're welcome to come up now. Thank you.